Sylphia 3, a name that once evoked images of lush forests and shimmering oceans. Don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel for help. Now, it conjured only visions of desolation. The planet was a graveyard of forgotten dreams, a testament to humanity's insatiable hunger for progress. Gone were the vibrant ecosystems, replaced by a barren expanse of ice and rock. The air, once alive with the songs of 1,000 different species, now hung heavy with silence. Scattered across the frozen landscape were the decaying remnants of human ambition. Buildings, once monuments to technological prowess, now stood as crumbling skeletons, their metal bones picked clean by the relentless winds. Mines, once hives of activity, gaped open like wounds in the planet's crust, their depths echoing with the ghosts of a bygone era. Sylphia 3 was a stark reminder of the fragility of life, a cautionary tale whispered on the cosmic winds. But beneath the surface of this frozen wasteland, a secret slumbered, a mystery as old as time itself, waiting to be awakened, and its awakening would change everything. The first sign came as a faint tremor in the fabric of space-time, a ripple of energy emanating from the depths of Sylphia 3, too subtle for most to notice, but for the watchful eyes of the Astra X Corporation, it was a beacon, a siren song whispering of forgotten knowledge and unimaginable power. Astra X, a titan in the realm of interstellar exploration, had never been one to ignore the allure of the unknown. Driven by an insatiable thirst for discovery and a keen eye for profit, they dispatched a team to investigate. Their mission, to uncover the source of the strange energy readings and unlock the secrets buried beneath Sylphia 3's icy shroud. Leading the expedition was Dr. Alina Vega, a renowned astrobiologist with an unquenchable thirst for knowledge and a reputation for pushing the boundaries of scientific understanding. Her team, a hand-picked group of specialists in fields ranging from geology to xenolinguistics, was as diverse as it was brilliant, each member driven by a shared desire to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos. Their vessel, the Astria, cut through the void with the grace of a celestial predator, its sleek hull shimmering under the cold light of distant stars. As they approached Sylphia 3, a sense of anticipation, tinged with unease, settled over the crew. They were about to set foot on a world that had already claimed the dreams of countless others. A world that held both the promise of discovery and the threat of oblivion. The Astria pierced the thin atmosphere of Sylphia 3, its engines a low hum in the stillness. Alina gazed out of the viewport, her breath catching in her throat. The desolation was absolute. A sea of grey-white stretched to the horizon, broken only by the jagged silhouettes of ruined structures. "Welcome to Sylphia 3, the pilot's voice crackled over the comm system. "Hope you brought your thermal underwear?" Alina forced a smile. Beneath the surface, a shiver of apprehension ran down her spine. This planet was a tomb, a silent, frozen tomb. The landing was rough, the ship shuddering as its landing gear met the unforgiving terrain. As soon as the engines powered down, an unnatural silence descended. The only sound was the hiss of the cooling systems and the frantic beating of Alina's heart. "Let's get to work," she said, her voice tight. There was no time for fear, not yet. The old research facility loomed before them, a skeletal silhouette against the dim light of Sylphia 3's sun. Wind howled through broken windows, carrying with it a fine dust of ice and the whisper of forgotten tragedies. "This place gives me the creeps," Max muttered, his hand hovering near the energy pistol strapped to his thigh. Alina nodded, unable to shake off a feeling of being watched. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the crunch of their boots on the frozen ground. It was the silence of a predator waiting to strike. They set up their equipment in what was once the main laboratory. Dust-covered consoles flickered to life. their screens displaying data that was decades old. Ghosts in the machine. "The signal originates below," said Lena, the team's geophysicist, her fingers dancing across a holographic display. "Deep below." The entrance to the lower levels was concealed behind a rusted metal door, its surface cold and slick beneath Alina's gloved hand. It took all of Max's strength to force it open, the hinges screaming in protest. A blast of stale, frigid air hit them, carrying with it the faint scent of ozone and something else. Something organic. "What is that smell?" Lena wrinkled her nose. "Whatever it is, it's been down here a long time," Max said, his voice tight. He went first, his flashlight beam cutting through the darkness. The stairway was treacherous, the metal steps eaten away by time and corrosion. Alina descended slowly, her heart pounding in her chest. The air grew heavier with each step, thick with anticipation and a growing sense of dread. They reached a vast chamber, the air shimmering with an unnatural heat. In the center, a circular vault door stood ajar, a faint blue light emanating from within, the source of the signal. Alina approached the vault cautiously, her breath misting in the warm air. The blue light pulsed with a life of its own, casting dancing shadows across the chamber walls. The air hummed with an energy that sent shivers down her spine. "What is this place?" Lena whispered, her eyes wide with wonder and apprehension. Alina knelt down, examining the symbols etched into the vault door. They were unlike anything she had ever seen, a language both ancient and alien. As she traced the lines with her gloved finger, she felt a strange warmth, a tingling sensation that seemed to spread up her arm. "Alina, are you all right?" Max asked, his voice edged with concern. Alina looked up, startled. "Yes, I just felt something," she said, her voice barely a whisper. The air in the chamber seemed to crackle with energy, the blue light intensifying. The symbols on the vault door pulsed with a life of their own, their meaning tantalizingly out of reach. "We need to get a closer look," Alina said, her voice filled with a newfound urgency. She could feel it now, a presence within the vault, ancient and powerful. Max nodded, his hand hovering near his energy pistol. "I'll open it." He placed his hand on the vault door, and for a moment nothing happened. Then, with a groan of ancient metal, the door slid open, revealing a staircase that descended into darkness. The blue light pulsed brighter, bathing the chamber in an ethereal glow. As Alina and her team descended the stairs, the air grew heavy, thick with the weight of millennia. The walls, no longer cold metal, seemed to throb with a life of their own, covered in a pulsating organic material. The hum intensified, vibrating through their bones. "What is this stuff?" Max asked, his voice tight with apprehension. He reached out to touch the wall, and as his fingers made contact, the organic material rippled as if alive. A blood-curdling screech echoed through the chamber, the sound ancient and filled with rage. The blue light flared, blindingly bright, and Alina felt a wave of energy slam into her, throwing her back against the wall. She gasped for breath, her ears ringing. "What was that?" Lena cried, her voice high with panic. Max struggled to his feet, his eyes wide with fear. "Something's coming." From the depths of the chamber, a shape emerged from the darkness, a monstrous silhouette outlined against the blinding light. It moved with a speed that defied logic, its form shifting and changing like smoke in the wind. Alina caught a glimpse of glowing red eyes, filled with an intelligence both ancient and alien, and a cold terror gripped her heart. They had awakened something truly terrifying. "Run!" she screamed, scrambling to her feet. Panic seized Alina as she sprinted through the pulsating corridor, her breath catching in her throat. The air, thick with the scent of ozone and something metallic, felt charged, alive. Behind her, the echoes of their pursuer resonated, each one sending shivers down her spine. The red glow, like malevolent eyes, seemed to pierce through the darkness, growing closer. "This way!" Max shouted, his voice strained, leading them down a narrow passage that branched off the main tunnel. The walls here pulsed with a sickly green light, casting grotesque shadows that danced with their every step. The organic material lining the walls seemed to writhe and coil as they brushed past, a silent symphony of revulsion. As they rounded a bend, the passage opened into a vast cavern, the ceiling disappearing into the impenetrable darkness above. In the centre, seemingly suspended in mid-air, floated the creature. It wasn't a solid being, Alina realized, her mind struggling to grasp the impossible. It was a two-dimensional entity, a shimmering silhouette of darkness and light, existing simultaneously in two planes of reality. "What are we dealing with?" Lena whispered, her voice trembling, her eyes transfixed on the creature. It pulsed with a cold internal light, tendrils of energy snaking out like probing fingers, tasting the air. The creature emitted a low, resonating hum that seemed to vibrate within their very bones, a discordant symphony that set their teeth on edge. As it moved, or rather as its form shifted within its two-dimensional plane, it caused ripples in the air, distorting the space around it. Alina swore she saw glimpses of otherworldly landscapes within those distortions, fleeting images of impossible geometries and alien colours that vanished as quickly as they appeared. "It's like it's phasing," Max stammered, his hand gripping his energy pistol, his knuckles white. "Between dimensions." Alina, her mind racing, recalled ancient Earth legends of creatures from other realms, beings that existed beyond human comprehension. Were they merely stories, she wondered, or echoes of forgotten truths, warnings from a time when the veil between realities was thin? The creature turned, its non-existent head seeming to fix its glowing red eyes on them, and Alina felt a chill run down her spine. It was aware of them, studying them, dissecting their every thought and fear. "We have to get out of here," Alina said, her voice firm despite the tremor in her heart. They were outmatched, facing an entity beyond their understanding, a being that defied the very laws of nature. They turned to flee, but the tunnel behind them, the path they had just taken, was gone. In its place, a wall of pulsating organic matter had formed, sealing them within the cavern with the creature. Panic, raw and primal, surged through Alina. "It's no use," Lena whispered, despair lacing her voice. "We're trapped." Max raised his energy pistol, his face a mask of grim determination. "We'll just have to fight our way out." Alina placed a hand on his arm, shaking her head. "Don't. It wouldn't understand. It wouldn't care." She looked at the creature, its form shifting and swirling in the center of the cavern. "It's not malevolent, not in the way we understand it." As the creature approached, the air crackled with energy, the blue light intensifying, casting their shadows long and distorted on the cavern floor. Alina closed her eyes, bracing herself for the unknown. Instead of pain, instead of the cold embrace of death, she felt a strange calmness wash over her. Images flooded her mind, a chaotic montage of colours and shapes, of swirling galaxies and collapsing stars. She saw civilizations rise and fall, witnessed the birth and death of universes all in the blink of an eye. Time ceased to exist, becoming a fluid, meaningless concept. Then, just as suddenly, it stopped. The images faded, leaving behind a profound sense of peace and a chilling realization. This creature, this being of pure energy and extra-dimensional existence, wasn't here to harm them, it was studying them. Opening her eyes, Alina saw the creature had drawn closer, its form pulsing with a strange, mesmerizing rhythm. It wasn't communicating with words, but with images, with emotions, with the raw fabric of consciousness itself. They were no longer prisoners, she realized, but subjects in an experiment far grander, far more terrifying than anything they could have imagined. The creature had opened a door into a reality beyond human comprehension, and they were about to be pulled through. Alina felt a strange calm settle over her, a stark contrast to the terror that gnawed at the edges of her mind. The creature's presence, though alien and unfathomable, held a peculiar serenity. It was as if its very existence defied the concept of malice, operating on a plane of understanding that dwarfed human comprehension. "It's not trying to hurt us," she murmured, her voice echoing strangely in the cavern. "What?" Max whirled around, his eyes wide with disbelief. "Alina, are you serious? That thing, it's a monster." "No, Max," Alina said, shaking her head slowly. The creature's pulsating light seemed to throb in sync with her words. "It's something else entirely. It's trying to communicate, but not in a way we understand." Lena, her face pale but her gaze steady, stepped forward. "But how? What is it saying?" Alina closed her eyes, the images from the creature's mind still swirling behind her eyelids. "It's showing us everything. The universe, the birth of stars, the rise and fall of civilizations. It's like it's trying to share its knowledge, its perspective." Max, his gaze darting between Alina and the creature, fumbled for his communicator. "We need to get a message back to the Astria. Someone needs to know what we've found." Static. The communicator's screen flickered, displaying nothing but a jumble of garbled symbols. Max swore under his breath, pressing buttons with increasing desperation. "It's no use. The signal's gone." "It's the creature," Lena said, her voice hushed. "It's disrupting our communications." Alina nodded grimly, her gaze fixed on the swirling mass of energy before them. "It doesn't want us to interfere. It wants us to understand." Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through Alina's newfound calm. They were cut off, isolated, at the mercy of an entity beyond their comprehension. The weight of their situation pressed down on her, heavy and suffocating. The creature shifted, its form rippling, and a wave of energy washed over them. Alina felt a strange pull, a sensation of being drawn towards it, not physically but on a deeper, more fundamental level. It was an invitation and a challenge, a beckoning into the unknown. "It wants us to go with it," Alina whispered, her voice filled with a strange certainty. "Go with it?" Max's voice cracked. "Alina, are you insane? We don't even know what it is." "It's our only choice," Lena said, her voice firm despite the tremor in her words. "We can stay here, cut off and alone, or we can take a leap of faith." She looked at Alina, her eyes filled with a mix of fear and determination. "What do you think, Alina? What does your gut tell you?" Alina closed her eyes, her breath catching in her throat. The decision was terrifying, but deep down she knew there was only one path forward. To resist would be futile, to deny the inevitable. This creature, this being of pure energy and extra-dimensional existence, held their fate in its hands, the fate of humanity itself. Alina, her hand outstretched, felt a surge of energy flow through her as she made contact with the creature. It wasn't a physical touch, not in the traditional sense. It was a merging of consciousness, a blending of realities. The world around her dissolved into a kaleidoscope of colors and shapes, time and space twisting and folding in on themselves. She saw the universe in its entirety, From the birth of stars to the death of galaxies, the intricate dance of creation and destruction playing out across an infinite canvas. Knowledge, vast and ancient, flooded her mind, stripping away her preconceived notions of reality, shattering the boundaries of human understanding. Beside her, she sensed Max and Lena undergoing a similar transformation. Their gasps of awe and fear echoed in the cavern of her mind, their individual consciousnesses merging with hers, becoming one with the creature, one with the universe itself. The creature, no longer a separate entity, became a conduit, a bridge between dimensions, ushering them into a realm beyond human comprehension, a realm where the laws of physics bent to the will of thought, where time and space were nothing more than playthings. Sylphia 3, once a desolate wasteland, a forgotten testament to human ambition and failure, had become a crucible. A place where the boundaries of reality blurred, where the very fabric of existence was tested. The creature, the awakening, had been a catalyst, a cosmic shepherd guiding them towards a destiny beyond their wildest dreams. The echo of their transformation, their transcendence resonated across the cosmos, a silent symphony heard only by those attuned to the whispers of the universe. Humanity, once confined to the limitations of its physical form, had touched the face of the infinite, glimpsed the true nature of reality. The implications were staggering, terrifying, and exhilarating all at once. The knowledge gained, the experiences shared, would forever alter their perception of the universe and their place within it. They had crossed the threshold, stepped through the looking glass, and there was no going back. The future stretched before them, a vast and uncharted territory, ripe with possibilities. They were no longer bound by the limitations of their former selves, their minds now capable of comprehending the incomprehensible. They were the pioneers, the vanguard of a new era for humanity.